Hello everyone, like this video, it's a video whereby I'm constantly being told I'm lucky. And I was like, initially, what? Like, I'm lucky how? Like, a lot of people, I don't know, like having a celebrity aura is weird. Like, it's weird as fuck sometimes. You will be struggling financially and people will have like, you are lucky. You will be looking like this just because I don't complain about my financial issues. People will say I'm lucky. People will see me walking on the street and they will say I'm lucky. You are lucky. They will assume that you coming from a rich home. You grew up like I grew up poor, guys, like very poor, like poor, extremely poor, like very poor. There was a days that was no food because the only person who used to provide sometimes because she was not a consistent person. Food at the same time, I understand we were so many of us. So I was born in a large, huge family. So it was more normal to not get things that you actually want. And it happened that I happened to be black sheep. So I'm just gonna move from that. So I get a lot of people who saying I'm lucky. And I was like, how? How? I constantly ask myself. I think the only time that I feel like I'm actually lucky is the connection that I have with God, my spiritual guide, my ancestors, ascended masters, because my ascended masters are my spiritual guides. Like sometimes I put it all together to call them ancestors or even ascended masters because they live, they no longer there anymore. They are there spiritual. You can call up on them whenever you need assistance whatsoever. But the only time that I feel like I'm lucky is because of that. The only time that I'm actually feeling like I'm lucky is because I know when I reach dead end. I know when I'm actually need to change. I know that I can't run away from this. I can like having a soul that is transformational. It's something a lot of people are not having access to. But most of the time, whenever they saying I'm lucky, I know they're not talking about that. I know they're not talking about myself having a soul that is transformational. My having depression or going through things because yes, I don't share so much when I'm going through things. I just talk about it when it's done. I talk about it when it's no longer bothering me. I talk about it when I just know and maybe someone can get help from it. I just don't bother. Like I just walk. I rarely even talk to people. So a lot of people would like you're lucky, you're lucky. I know I'm not the only one who got this kind of vibe when people when you're coming across them like you're lucky. And I'm like, how? Like, wow. Initially it used to bother me because I'm just like them. The thing is when you carry yourself in a way that you want to be treated, people will say you're lucky. Whenever you are doing things that is causing a lot of fear, people will say you are lucky because they know that they can do that, but they're not willing to look within themselves what is actually wrong with that. Because I go within myself, I know that this thing is no longer working for me. I confront things that are no longer working for me. I sit my ass down and be like, why do I agree to this kind of thing when I don't want to agree to this kind of thing? I know I don't want to have friendship like this. I don't know. I don't want to be surrounded by people who actually like this. I know this career is no longer working for me. How can I change this? What is exactly do I want? Because I crave honesty. I crave to be free. My spirit crave to be free. We are all spirit like free spirited. It's just that we tend, some of us are easily to be influenced and are easy to be, what the word, they are easy to be controlled. And some of us are not easy to be controlled. You can't just tame. You can put a bird in a cage, but you can't tell the bird to stop singing. This is the famous, I forgot her name, when the but now I understand why the bird in the cage sing, because they want to be heard, they want to be free. They know that their freedom is something that is being taken away from them, and they don't want that. They don't fucking want that. So we are all like that. It's just that some of us, we know this is too much. This is too much for our own mental health. This is too much for me. I can't take this anymore. This is not a life. There's more to life than this. There's more life to what I'm actually putting myself into. I need more. Like, yes, I'm lucky because I have a soul. I tend to reflect on it. I tend to speak to God. I find myself being vulnerable. I find myself in a place where I'm like, I need to make changes. This is not what I want. You know, so people will assume just because you're moving like that, you are like it easy. It's so what. No, it's not easy. I just tend to know I can't resist this change anymore. I can't resist what I'm hearing. Because the more you love yourself, the more you heal yourself, the more you put yourself in a position whereby you allow yourself to be challenged by things, even things that you don't know. The faith that I actually have with spirit, it's something that I treasure. Like, I even say, wherever I go, even if I lose everything, I just know. Yes, I'll be anxious because the thing is, the actually benefit of growing poor, like, I can survive. Of course I'll be frustrated because sometimes I just want to spoil myself. I just want to eat the food I want to eat, but I'm just like, I know that I will survive. I know that I had it rough. I know I had it where there was a time that I didn't have anything, and even if I go to back to that phase, I'm still gonna survive, you know. That's what happened. A lot of people, I'm not saying that I was actually got it right myself, because there was a time I was so attached. Like, if you ask me, it took me like 6 months to finally make a decision to drop out from university. I was doing my honors. I just felt like I can't run away from this. I knew that I had this thing, like the feeling, like long time ago, because I knew I'm not destined to have a PhD as much as I wanted to, especially in that career field that I wanted into. I just knew, but I kept on postponing. I kept on postponing. So I got that feeling strongly 27, to the point that I went through depression, and I was like, I still can do it. I still can do it. 2018, I got my degree because it was my last day, 2018. But 2019, I was doing my honors and I couldn't do it anymore. I just got sick, like sick, so sick, to the point that I couldn't stand being around people. Because why? I didn't want to listen. How sick I was, I even tend to go to the point that I didn't go to campus. I didn't go to campus at all, because why? I was sick. I was sick. I stood and made me sick. Not only just stood and made me sick, just hearing a lecture, just, I had extreme headache. I have extreme panic attacks. I have to take, like, the thing with being a university student, you can get out anytime. So I used to go out a lot. Like the lecture probably will be there for an hour, and the next hour be out. Like, I couldn't stay. I just would go to the bathroom just to, like, the headache was too much, the panic attack was too much. I told myself I don't want to reach the kind of rock bottom where I have to stop because I'm sick. I knew that the relationship I have with myself need to change. That was 2019. I knew that I'm going through spiritual awakening, but it was a new thing. Like, I following, like, listening to my heart often, it was not so often. I listened to my, but I was not that much often. So I had to change. I had to make some changes. I knew that I need to make this kind of movement. I need to do this. It's not because I'm lucky. It's not because I experienced a lot of things. It's just that I put myself in a position whereby I acknowledge that this is not working for me. I acknowledge the fact that I need to heal. I acknowledge the fact that I can't be dating two men who are horrible and say it's because of them. Hey, this man is shitty. Blah, blah, blah. I can't always be like that. There's a reason why I dated two men who have the same soul. There's no way. I just knew there's no way, because I don't know. I always have that thing that I'm a queen. Like, I am a queen. Like, I deserve to be treated like as much as I treat other people. There's no way I can stand that any longer. So I just knew, like, I needed to be treated in a certain way. Sometimes I would even daydream how I want to be treated, and I knew, nah, I need to work on myself. I knew I have to be toxic to allow such energies in my life like that. I knew, no, I need to change. There's no way I can date two people who are actually same, like everything. Nah, I need to change. It's not because I'm lucky. I don't just walk on water. I'm not Jesus. I don't walk on water. I don't. It has to have eyes in order for me to walk on it. It has to be me um being honest, being vulnerable with myself. This is not the energy I want to operating on, and because of that, nah, I need to change. I'm not lucky. Like I get that shit a lot, to the point that initially it used to bother me, but it does not bother me anymore because I'm not lucky. Yes, I am lucky. It's just that it is to say that, and I once said something like that, but to be honest, that girl was lucky. She was so lucky. Why I said that she's lucky? I think having a connection with God to the point that whenever you're saying something, you're high vibrational person and say something like this, I didn't know that I didn't know I had it in within me, but I noticed that I was. It's just that I didn't pay much attention to it. She was saying something like, "Ah, I want this," and then like a week she would be having that. Like she will call her husband, like, and then the husband will come and do it. I'm like, and I remember telling her like, I fucking love your boundaries. Like, I love how you put yourself. I just admire to the point I even cry. Basically, I know I have access to that. The fact that it made me like I've noticed every movie that I actually watch or anything that I actually put myself into, whether people that I met, to the point that whenever I'm admiring to the point I felt emotional, they have part of me in them. When I'm saying they have part of me in them, everything that make your soul somehow, whether good or some part of you, there's part of you in them. Like it can be like, for example, Mona had a calling. She was very like high vibrationally in her tribe. She knew that connection was different, but at the same time she knew that she can't tell everybody who she was, because a lot of people already subject her as crazy. And there was also a grandmother who was considered crazy because she see things. So she was considered, because it's something that a lot of people have resistance whenever you're talking about anything that is fairy tale like, whatsoever. Like Mona, I cried. Like I was like, oh my god, I was like, and I was like, fuck, that movie have me in it. Like it have me in it. Like every time whenever I'm watching supernatural movies, I tend to be emotional to the point of like, oh fuck. And there's always part of me that I need to see. Like Mona, I know that I have a strong connection with water since I was a kid, to the point that I will never understand why people we go to the ocean for 2 hours. I'm like, why 2 hours? Like I will get angry whenever it's time for me to get out of water. I'm like, nah, I just want to stay. I just want to see. Like that how much it is. That how much the part of you. It's there, even if you're not even yet away. Like as I'm telling you, I cried complimenting that girl, and I was like 6 months later, I see myself in, like, I was like, oh my god, I have it in me. Like I have it in me. I felt like she was lucky, but to be honest, I think it's because of a limiting poverty mindset. We tend to have a poverty mindset sometimes, and sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's not a good thing. For example, I also said something like, this girl, like, she's a YouTuber. She make it so easy. Like she make it like it's so easy. Like she make it like creating a recipe is so easy. She's into like a vegan diet, so she create recipes. She even lost weight. She encouraged other people to eat health and whatsoever. She made it so easy, guys. Like if like you wouldn't even know. And I was like, probably that how I move, but I've never like put my into it. So she was like, she made it so easy, and I was like, like I admire her. Like I was stall and like I admire, like she's a YouTuber. She also have a huge following from YouTube, and as well as Instagram. And like I was like, oh wow, like she made it so easy. And like I just admire her in a lot of way, like how she always come up with a recipe. And sometimes it's something easy as making like old like milk, coconut milk. Like you can make coconut milk at home, but sometimes because we're so used of going to the store and buying it, we'd be so amazed and to find out how easy it is, you know. So something like that, until she ended up being vulnerable in one of the quotes. I was like, oh fuck, I manifested this one. She said like a lot of people assume that I'm it. I've never said it, but I said it in my head. Like, wow, she's so lucky. And when I heard exactly where she's coming from, I'm like, what? Like, yeah, you know, sometimes we tend to assume people are like it, which is not true. It's just that how they choose to not complain about it. They know everything will get better. They know things will get better. They just know it's not the end. They allow themselves to have a numerous new beginnings. Allow yourself to have numerous new beginnings because it's part of life. It's part of us. You can start something and feel like you are the motherfucker, which you are. But sometimes you will feel lost in it. You will feel so lost even if you think this is what you wanted, and allow yourself to have numerous new beginnings.